Good afternoon. Welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to be doing a pasta dish with shrimp in it. This is a dish I made sometimes in the restaurant and hope you guys like it. As you know, we went to Roselli's, the Italian store. By now you saw the Wednesday post of that great little store. If you're in the Medford area, definitely want to check it out. And I bought this beautiful pasta from them. As you can see, it's a really nice egg fettuccine that's beautiful and nice and delicate. So I can't wait to try that. These are some of the ingredients we're going to use. Obviously our shrimp. I got about a pound of shrimp here, large shrimp or extra. This is actually extra large shrimp. You can use whatever you like. Again, I got some chopped garlic. I have a little sherry wine we're using in this. Again, you don't have to use sherry wine. This is what I used. You don't have to. You want to use a different wine, you can. I also am using a little bit of lobster base or any kind of fish base that you want to use, you can use. I use this. This is the product that I found that I like. It's called Better Than Base. It's a lobster base. The first ingredient here is lobster meat, so it's not, most bases are salt. You know, this is not. This is probably about $6, $7 for this little jar, but you'll have it for quite a long time to put in your refrigerator. I also have heavy cream, and this is our clarified butter, which I showed you in another video. This is what we use when we do any kind of sauteing dishes. So basically what this is about 1.5 pounds of butter, Kerrygold butter. This is European butter that I spoke about before. And you just let it heat on a stove in a small saucepan on as low as you could possibly put it. And it's going to separate. You're going to separate the cream from the actual milk fat. So you're gonna see a clear, cloudy kind of all butter. You don't want nothing that's on the top of it, and you don't want nothing that's on the bottom. You kind of want what's in the middle. And then what I usually do when I do it, I make a container of it. So again, whenever I need some of it, I don't have to go through that whole process each time. And I put this right in the refrigerator. And as you can see, if you melt regular butter, it would have some white on the bottom. This doesn't have it because it's all pure butter. And I have 1 pound of fettuccine here, as I spoke about before. So we're gonna put all this together and let's see how we make out. Okay, we're gonna get started. I got 4 tablespoons of the clarified butter, and I have the chopped garlic in here. I'm just gonna move this around a little bit. You wanna make sure this is on a low key right now, because you do not want this garlic to burn at all, especially when you're doing cream sauces. So I'm gonna add the shrimp. We're gonna let these cook a little bit. I'm gonna raise the gas a little bit here to like a medium key and keep an eye on it. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cook the shrimp on one side, cook it on the other side, and then I'm gonna take it out because I don't want it to cook the whole time in here. That's where your shrimp usually gets a little tough. Now, I'm gonna put some black pepper on here. I don't use any salt in this dish unless at the end you need it for some reason, but I do put black pepper, try to get all the shrimp, because the base that we're using has a lot of salt in it. The other thing I forgot to say in the beginning when I was showing you the ingredients is we use Parmigiano Reggiano cheese in here. So that's part of this dish also. And I'm gonna grate it as I go along. You can grate it ahead of time. You don't need to do all that if you don't wanna be bothered. So we're gonna let this cook. You can see. Let it cook on both sides. All right. Let that cook for a little bit, for a few more minutes, and then I'm gonna remove them out of there and then we'll go to the next step. Okay, I'm taking the shrimp out because it's starting to get a little brown on the bottom and I don't want too much of that. We just take it out, put it in a separate bowl, and then as soon as I get the cream and all the stuff in here, I'm gonna put them back in once it starts to thicken a little bit. Now we're gonna add the sherry. And again, if you wanna use something else, you can. And you'll see that all start to bubble up a little bit, deglaze a little bit. Get all your goods off the bottom of your pan, what you want. All that, it's all flavor. And now I'm gonna add the base. And I'm gonna use, I said a cup, I'm gonna use probably about 3/4 of a cup. Now I'm gonna turn the gas up. I want this to cook. I want all the flavors to come out of here. Once this comes in, I'm gonna put the shrimp back in. Then I'm gonna add the cream, and then we're gonna add the cheese, and we're gonna mix everything together. And then we're gonna cook our pasta. And you see what happens there, okay? All right. Now we're gonna add our heavy cream. See everything boiling up? It takes all that stuff off the bottom. Man, it smells good right here, I'll tell you that. Now this was a quart of heavy cream, so as you can see what I'm using, I'm probably using about 3/4. I always leave a little bit for when we reheat, because that's also very important, that you use cream again to reheat it, and not use, certainly never use a microwave when you're reheating cream. You can use milk, you can use half and half, that kind of stuff to reconstitute it, but don't ever put it in a microwave. So we're gonna let this cook down and start to thicken a little bit. And once it starts to thicken a little bit, I'm gonna then put my shrimp back in, and then I'm gonna add the cheese, and we're pretty much done, and then we'll cook the pasta. Okay, you see this starting to thicken. Now I'm gonna pour the shrimp right back in. And if there's a little juice in the bottom from the shrimp, put it in there. Because that's all flavor. See that starting to thicken real nice. Here we go. Now, you see how nice thickened up? It's starting to look really good. Now I'm gonna get some Parmigiano Reggiano, and just as far as an amount, I'm gonna say total amount is maybe 1/4 cup. I'm going around a few times, and that's it. I don't wanna over cheese it. We'll continue to cook a little bit. And you always wanna put that cheese when you're doing like the cream sauce like this at the end, because you don't want it to thicken too much and then it gets like kind of clumpy. All right, I'm gonna get this pasta. Now this pasta that I got here, this pasta is a really delicate pasta. So it doesn't take long to cook. And you kind of even wanna watch how you handle it so it doesn't all bust up. That's a little over half a pound in that one. I'm gonna do the full pound here. 2 boxes here. I think these are 8.8 ounce boxes. I'm gonna let that cook in there. Again, this only takes a couple of minutes because it's a delicate egg pasta. You just want to be careful even how you handle it in there, because you certainly don't want it to. I'm gonna lower this because this is ready, perfect ready. And we're just gonna wait for this pasta to cook. We're gonna put it inside and I'll show you what it looks like in the pan, and then we'll show you the finished product after that. I'm gonna shut this gas off here, and we're gonna start adding some of this pasta. And don't be afraid to taste your pasta. You know, I always tell you to go by the directions, and you should go by the directions. But sometimes you just need to taste it to make sure it's good. Look at this pasta; it's beautiful pasta itself. I mean, the pasta is really nice. I'm just gonna give this a nice mix. We're all set in here. I'm gonna plate it, and we're gonna show you the finished product, and hope you like it. Okay, here's your finished product. Hopefully you try this and make it on your own, and if you do, send me a picture of it. So good food, good memories, and we'll see you soon.